Thank you, guys. Buenas and half a day. This public hearing is now called to order, and the time now is 2 p.m., September 4th, 2025. This hearing is conducted by myself, Senator Telo Taitague, Chairwoman of the Committee on Economic Investment, Military Buildup, Regional Relations, Technology, Regulatory Affairs, Justice, Election, and Retirement. To comply with the open government law, notices of this hearing was disseminated to all senators and media via email and published in KUAM on Wednesday, August 27, 2025, and a second notice on September 2nd, 2025. Notice of this hearing was also available on the Guam Legislative website and the Government of Guam Public Notice Portal. I would like to recognize those who are here in person and those who are watching from home. Buenas and welcome to your house, your people's house. I'd like to also welcome those who are here today and just to let everybody know that you can visit our Google Drive, or not our Google Drive, but visit our legislative website for any information regarding the appointee today, as well as other bills that were passed by this body. Okay, and if you have any questions or in need of assistance, please feel free to call 671-472-3465. That's 3465. Before we begin, I would like to set some rules of engagement. No pulling hair, no biting. No, I'm kidding. Okay. When you speak, please speak directly into the microphone. And for record purposes, state your name for the record and who you're here and what agency you work for, or if it's in the private sector. I ask that those who are testifying today to stay seated for any other questions that I may have, or if my colleagues come, I think they're still on vacation. I respectfully ask that you conduct ourselves professionally. Those individuals who do not comply, of course, you'll get the cane and booted out. Okay. The following appointments on the agenda today is Mr. Ray A. SCHNABEL to serve as a member on the Guam Banking and Insurance Board, insurance business representative that he will be representing, and for a term of the length of 6 years from the date of confirmation. At this time, before we get started, I just wanted, for those who are listening, the position that Mr. SCHNABEL will be taking. The Guam Board and the Guam Banking and Insurance Board members' duties and responsibilities. The Banking and Insurance Board operates under Guam law, specifically 11 GCA Chapter 103, Section 103103, 103104. These sections lay out how the board is formed, who serves on it, and what powers it holds. The board sits within the Office of the Commission of Banking and Insurance under the Department of Revenue and Taxation, and it plays a role in regulating Guam's banking and insurance industries. Under 103103, the board is made up of 9 appointed members plus the commissioner who serves as chair. It outlines how members are selected, how long they serve, and how meetings are run. Under 103104, the board, its authority to adopt regulations, hold hearings, issue orders, and oversee the commissioner's decisions. In practice, board members help shape and enforce policies that keep our financial and insurance systems fair and accountable. They restrict banking operations during emergencies, approve participation in federal programs, remove officers for misconduct. While on the insurance side, they hire certified examiners, take enforcement actions, and refer criminal violations to the Attorney General. The board meets quarterly, maintains ethical standards, and ensures transparency by keeping records and recommending legislative updates when needed. And at this time, I would like to recognize the Director of Department of Revenue and Taxation at this time for her testimony. Marie Lizama, you are now recognized.
Hafaday, Madam Chair. As mentioned, I am the Director of the Department of Revenue and Taxation. My name is Marie Lizama, and along with me, I do have our Regulatory Administrator, Alice Cruz, and our Regulatory Supervisor, Mr. Nemencio David Briones, who, again, are with me in support of Mr. SCHNABEL's nomination. And if I may, I will go ahead and just read the letter. And I do have to apologize. The Banking and Insurance Commissioner is currently off island, but this is a joint statement from us, and I will just read that now. So, Hafide, Madam Chair. Banking and Insurance Commissioner Michelle B. Santos and I are wholly in support of Mr. Raymond SCHNABEL's nomination to serve as a member of the Guam Banking and Insurance Board. He has served since its inception, and we are grateful that he is willing to dedicate the time to continue in that capacity. His expertise and insight, achieved as a current Chief Operating Officer for the Century Insurance Group of companies, and over 40 years of experience in the insurance industry, have proven invaluable in guiding the board on respective matters and in achieving its mission. They also prove helpful for the board to define any term as reasonably necessary or appropriate for the administration of laws relating to banking and insurance and in accordance with the Administrative Adjudication Act. As a long-serving board member, Mr. SCHNABEL is familiar with board governance policies, which are essential for it to function effectively. It goes without saying that the recruitment and retention of members for this board, as well as any other board, remains a challenge. Members are crucial to overseeing strategic direction and upholding mission values. As such, we ask that you and your colleagues support Mr. SCHNABEL's appointment to the Banking and Insurance Board. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you so much for your testimony. I do know that you have a prior engagement. I don't really have any questions. However, I do want to, remind you that there are several regulatory boards at Rev and Tax that are still in need of members. So I ask that you please continue to search, to find somebody who's willing to serve, especially, I believe the Real Estate Agency Board is still lacking quorum, as well as, I think that's it, and maybe one other.
We certainly could use additional members of other boards, but your comments are noted, and we will continue, as we have been, to work with the governor's office with regard to, looking for additional appointments or nominees. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, and you're excused. Thank you. And at this time, I would like to hear from the nominee himself. Mr. SCHNABEL, you are recognized to read your testimony.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Raymond SCHNABEL, and I am honored to be here before you as the governor's nominee for the Banking and Insurance Board. I have submitted written testimony which outlines my experience and how that would be beneficial to the Insurance and Banking Board. As highlights of that testimony, I am currently the Chief Operating Officer of Century Insurance Group of companies, and I am currently the President of the Insurance Association of Guam, which is Guam's insurance rate-making body. And I have been on the Banking and Insurance Board practically since its inception, with a brief break during Governor Calvo's administration. I have 40 years of insurance experience, and that experience has been over different parts of the insurance industry. That 40 years has been split between the property and casualty side of the insurance business and the life and health side of the insurance business. And I've also represented both insurance companies and spent a lot of time working for an agency broker, which represents and looks out for the interests of the consumer. So I believe that 40 years of experience gives me a very balanced approach to insurance issues.
And that's all you have to say.
That's
Okay. Well, Ray, I've known you for many years, and of course, in the industry of insurance, I once once was in the insurance industry as well, myself.
I remember.
In the day, worked for 2 different companies and understand a little bit about it, but the important thing right now is to ensure that, that it's transparent, and I ask that, a couple of things I ask of you. It's one, to ensure that you're very transparent. Everything, if there is something online that needs to go online to provide the information to those companies and for the public as well, that it be posted right away on your website. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I ask that you've been doing this for a long time, and like you and I, we're both in that senior moment that we try to pull the next generation into the fold. And you have so much institutional knowledge that are not in the books that these young generations can read. History that has happened in the past, what worked, what didn't work. And I ask that you try and find somebody out there, because if you do decide to retire soon, and you've been a great public servant for all these years that you've been sitting on the board. I mean, I thank you for that. You're doing this, with no pay, and you're doing this from the heart, because I think you believe in keeping our island safe. And I ask that you look for the next generation to groom them.
Absolutely, Senator. Okay. Thank you for your comments. And yes, I am trying to pass on the knowledge every single day.
Okay, excellent. Okay, conflict of interest. Have you ever been in a situation, because you represent a certain insurance companies, have you ever been in a conflict of interest situation where you had to step aside?
Well, I believe the insurance and the banking and insurance board is made up. Its construction alone of bankers and insurance people is conflict in itself, and I think the makeup of the board where these interests are talked about and discussed strictly in an advisory capacity, and at the end it's up to the insurance commissioner to decide. But I think just the structure of the board is conflicted in its structure.
Do you have any recommendations, being there this long, to avoid that conflict?
Well, it's worked very well for the last 20 years, so if it isn't broken, I wouldn't change it.
Hear, hear. I agree. But if there's room for improvement, opportunities, the use of technology to assist you in any way, and of course, recommendations on the AI side of things, greatly appreciate to let the commissioner know that, and what she can come to this body and request for, to ensure that what you're doing is up to par and very transparent. That's the most important thing. But other than that, thank you for stepping up to the plate again and hearing my concerns and also my recommendations later on in the future.
Again, thank you for your comments, Senator, and we will do what you recommend.
Appreciate it. Now, my door is always open. I always tell anybody who's sitting in positions such as yourself, that's done voluntarily, that if you have any concerns, it's always open. And please feel free to use that, take that opportunity, which you have done in the past.
Yes, I have.
Any concerns, I'm always willing to keep my door open for you. And anyone listening. And those 3 sitting in the back too, please. It's for you too as well, the invitation. So that being said, are there no further questions or comments? This concludes the discussion on this appointment for Mr. Ray Schnabel. If you have any written testimonies today with the hearing, I have 5 working days. You can provide it to my office. You can email it to my office, or at senatortelot@gmail.com. Or you can mail it to my office at 238 Archbishop Flores Street, Suite 407, at the DNA Building in Hagåtña. Thank you all for participating and create a great day. The time now is 2:15 p.m. Situs Masi. This hearing is adjourned.